In these uncertain economic times, you've got to do whatever you can to save money. One of our biggest expenses can be our cars, especially when unexpected repair bills hit. Not anymore. If you own a vehicle with less than 130,000 miles, is less than 12 years old, has a warranty about to expire, or even no warranty at all, you could stop paying for car repairs. Roadside assistance, towing, and rental coverage are all included. Don't wait for the next repair. Make one free call right now to see if you qualify. If your vehicle is less than 12 years old, has less than 130,000 miles, even if it's out of warranty, paying for car repairs can become a thing of the past. Call us right now and get your car protected before your next repair bill hits. Get protection and no more repair bills. Call 800-696-1030. Again, 800-696-1030. That's 800-696-1030. 800-696-1030.
You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
All writers are prone to becoming so attached to our characters and stories that we struggle to see why a passage may not be working. It takes another set of eyes to help us nurture our writing into full maturity. At Black Wolf Editorial Services, we strive to enable writers to develop and grow, shaping stories into masterpieces that can stand the test of time. Editing services are provided for all genres and all age categories. Services range from critiques of the short story through to the line edits of the full-length novel and copy editing for those preparing for publication. We also offer assistance on generating a writer's bio for your websites, as well as help with those book blurbs and promotional material. We won't abandon you to the masses. We want to celebrate with you in your successes. Black Wolf Editorial Services, nurturing your writing into maturity. For a full list of services and prices, visit us at blackwolfeditorial.com.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control over your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank account, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problems now by calling the experts at Tax Mediation Services and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. Tax Mediation Services is accredited by the Better Business Bureau. Call now for a free case review and a price protection guaranteed quote.
Call Tax Mediation Services now at 800-610-9050. That's 800-610-9050. 800-610-9050.
KLRN Radio has advertising rates available. We have rates to fit almost any budget. Contact us at advertising@klrnradio.com.
This is Slickery Trigger for Rebel Road Tactical. With proper care and feeding, your pistol will be ready when you need it, there to save your life. Shouldn't your gear be that good? Whether you need a holster for comfortable everyday carry or a tough-as-nails holster for your next training course, Rebel Road Tactical has what you need. Check us out on the web at rebelroadtactical.com.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 $3 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.
Is debt beating you down? You need discipline. You need the Debt Ninja. If you've been caught in a financial trap and need to be set free, then you need the Debt Ninja. Want to stop those harassing collection calls, start saving thousands in interest and fees, and get out of debt fast? Then you need to call the Debt Ninja. The Debt Ninja will find the best companies across the country that will help you consolidate all your bills into one easy payment, reduce your payments by 30 to 50%, and get you out of debt fast. If you have unsecured debt of $10,000 or more, such as credit cards, loans, or medical bills, call the Debt Ninja for a free 15-minute consultation.
Call 800-826-1246. 800-826-1246. That's 800-826-1246. Call today.
The Debt Ninja.
Frustration is mounting and anger is growing with the liberals and passive politicians. Learn the playbook of those who are trying to destroy our country. From the blue-collar professor. He teaches, he leads, he speaks out for truth and justice. Now, the educator of all things conservative, your host, Dr. Gavin Mitchell.
You know, I spent a lot of time during my academic career taking written exams. Whether it was a test for economics, finance, I even had to take PE, believe it or not, in my undergraduate studies. I had to take PE. And it was there they made us take a written exam over things we had never seen in our life. But there was this old folklore, this wives' tale that if you didn't know, pick C. C would be the answer. Statistically, somehow, C would work out to be the answer you needed. And so I want to give that a shot to see if it works tonight. The question presented to you on this multiple choice test is, where is Barack Obama, the president of the United States? Where was he today? That is the question. Choice A will be signing another executive order that violates the constitutional rights and guarantees of us Americans. The second choice would be somehow compromising our safety by opening up the borders and allowing just waves of refugees to come in. C will be in a foreign country apologizing and even criticizing and condemning Americans and our way of life and our success. And then D, being a president. Well, if you didn't know the answer, you could immediately eliminate D, because that's not in Barack Obama's repertoire. That's not it. The other three are very real possibilities. But in this case, the folklore holds true. Barack Obama is in Laos apologizing for Americans, calling Americans racist to a group of university students. That is our president. That is the guy representing the United States, the leader of the free world, once again being an apologist for the United States, crawling on his hands and knees around the world saying, please forgive us. I'm telling you here and now, I have nothing to be sorry for. It was our forefathers that had the vision to create this great thing we call the American experiment. It was my ancestors, your ancestors, the generations that came before us that made many mistakes, the greatest and gravest being slavery. Oh my gosh, who thought that was a good idea? Short answer, the Democrats. But through it all, somehow we end up in a country where you can literally be anything you want to be. All you have to do is make the right decisions and work hard. You may have to work harder than the guy next to you, but that is these United States of America, and I'm not sorry for a second. That's our president, though. Thank God that the countdown has begun, and we're just a hop, skip, and a jump away from January. My goodness, it has got to go. It has got to go. But enough of that guy. I'm done with him. I'm sick of him. If he shows back up on this program, something bad has happened. I'm telling you now. Welcome to the program. I am Gavin Mitchell. I'm sorry I opened with such a vet, but I've had enough. I've had absolutely enough. Lots to talk about this hour. Gary Johnson, the third-party libertarian candidate, stumbles, but is it truly a stumble? The battleground polls are out. We've got a lot to get to, but I want to start with the Commander-in-Chief Forum last night. We are live with the Gavin Mitchell Show now on Red Nation Rising Radio. And while we were on the air last night, we had this forum going on. So I had to TiVo it. Is that what they call it now? Or is it's DVR? I had to DVR it. And I went back and I watched it, and my gosh, what a blunder. What a joke, because here we have two presidential candidates, and let me just set the stage. And I'm going to qualify everything I'm about to say by saying this. I am voting for Donald Trump. Donald Trump is the only hope this country has. My candidate lost in the primary. That's the way democracy works. I now have two options in front of me. One of them is not an option in Hillary Clinton. Donald Trump is the only option. Do I think he's a rip-rock conservative? No, I've said that many times. But dadgummit, every deliverable he's had has been pretty good. I do have some questions. I do wonder about this, but he is head and shoulders a better presidential candidate than Hillary Clinton. So I qualify all of that to say this. But quite frankly, if Hillary Clinton wasn't running against Donald Trump and there wasn't this disdain, there wasn't this never Trump movement out there, Hillary Clinton would be getting crushed. If there was an establishment Republican running to where all the never Trumpers could jump on board and all of those that are traditional Republican voters would fall in line like you had to do with Romney, like you had to do with McCain, Hillary Clinton would be out of it right now. I would argue the same holds true for Donald Trump. I would argue that if Hillary Clinton didn't bring all this baggage in, if they had a viable and legitimate candidate that was an up and rising star, that Donald Trump wouldn't be doing so well right now. I could be wrong, but that's just my feeling. It's this perfect storm that both these candidates are able to compete because they have each other. Now, I know all of you on the Trump train are going to say, oh, you're an idiot. Look at you. You're a cruise bagger, whatever. No, it's an observation. I told you from the onset. Trump has my vote. He's the only hope this country has. And we are literally at a crossroads. But the evidence that supports that claim I just made was all over the place last night. And when you have that, when you have a guy in Donald Trump that has no track record that can be criticized, that can be critiqued, and all you can go off of are sound bites from his life, a snippet of an interview here, a tweet there, you have no idea how he's truly going to handle foreign policy because there's no history of him handling foreign policy. Then you have Hillary Clinton, who, if she's touched it, she screwed it up. There is nothing Hillary Clinton has put her hands on that isn't a complete and total debacle, and I would argue even illegal. Not in the last 20, 25 years. I would argue just about everything Hillary Clinton has done in the last 25 years is probably illegal. And when you have that in what they call a commander-in-chief forum, which focuses on national security and international relations, foreign policy, if you will, the stage is set to find out who these guys are. Who is Hillary Clinton? What is her plan? Who is Donald Trump? What is his plan? And it was a warm-up for the debate coming in September, right? They got a chance to fill things out. It was a great opportunity. But when this happens in an election year, with as much attention as this election has, and the moderator comes out being the story, you probably drop the ball as a moderator. I'm just going to throw that out there. Poor Matt Lauer. And I say that sarcastically. I don't feel bad for Matt Lauer at all. He is a member of what my buddy Chris Salcedo calls the Brian Williams Press, the leftist media. He is a founding card-carrying member of biased media. He's the reason we can't trust talk shows, not radio talk shows. I'm talking TV talk shows. We can't trust the print media. We can't trust any major news outlet in this country because of guys like him. Well, what did he do that was so grotesque? First off, he should have zero part. I understand he's a journalist. I understand he hosts a major morning show on a major news network. I get that. But he should have recused himself immediately. Why? Because he is one of these big-time, big-shot members of the Clinton Global Initiative. He is active. He is a face for Hillary Clinton's charity. And he has the audacity to jump on stage and pretend like he's unbiased, that he's good to go, that he's going to be fair and upright. And so if you're watching that, you're thinking, well, my goodness, how is he going to handle Hillary Clinton and how is he going to handle Donald Trump? Well, ironically enough, he actually got at Hillary Clinton pretty good over the emails. And he spent a lot of time on her emails. So much so that backlash is coming, not just from the left, but from the right, about the amount of time spent on the emails, that when they went to the floor for questions, he said, hey, answer it briefly, because he was so determined to get through his list of questions. He just dismissed the audience participation. He just cashed it in. They'd ask a question, answer that briefly. We got to get moving. Now, I commend him for taking the email situation very seriously. That's positive. We need to get that out in the open. She continues to lie about that situation. But not once did he address the Clinton Foundation. Do you find that ironic that he's one of the big shot members and he doesn't ask a single question about it, knowing that all that money that he gives, and if he's ever helped raise money for the Clinton Foundation, is being laundered to one of two places, either Hillary Clinton's pocket or straight to her campaign? It's one of the two. But not a single question came up. And if you haven't seen Clinton Cash, you need to get out there and see it, because there are a lot of serious questions that need to be answered by Hillary Clinton if she wants to run the free world. I think Buck Sexton said it best in a tweet not too long ago. If Hillary swears she wasn't selling access to the State Department, why were so many people able to buy access to the State Department? Remember, we talked about this. Of the snapshot we had of her detailed calendar. Remember, there's two calendars at work. Her general calendar that they release to the public, and then they have her detailed minute-by-minute calendar. Well, that minute-by-minute calendar isn't released to the public. You don't want people to know where your cabinet members are going to be before they get there. Not if it's not a secure situation. So I understand that. But the State Department released a portion of it through a Freedom of Information Act, and then a federal court ordered them to honor that Freedom of Information Act. But what we saw in there is anybody she met with that was not a State Department employee, any external meeting she had, and I believe the count was 148 of these meetings took place. Over half of them were with big-time donors to the Clinton Foundation. Where there's smoke, there's fire, right? But none of that was brought up with the Clinton Foundation. It was all about the email scandal, and that does need to be brought to light. And then he rushed through everything. Then he got to Donald Trump. And Donald Trump owned Matt Lauer. Matt Lauer did his best to ask some hardball questions, and Donald Trump just took the interview over as if Matt Lauer was some type of intern. Right? Like he was a journalism major at New York U or whatever. And he was conducting an interview, and Donald Trump just railroaded him the way a veteran politician would. He took the interview over, he directed it where he wanted it to go, and he moved forward. Now, neither candidate looked incredibly stellar. We have to admit that. Neither candidate looked great. But at the end of the day, in this commander-in-chief forum that they had in New York at the Intrepid Sea, Air, and Space Museum, which is in Manhattan, this is Donald Trump's backyard. Hillary Clinton has a little claim to New York because she was a senator. That's where she lives now. This was a comfortable place for everybody, but neither one excelled. Neither one gained ground over the other. Let's talk about their answers. Let's talk about their positions and what exactly it means. Coming up next.
The Gavin Mitchell Show. It's summertime again, ladies. Time to break out those sandals and give your toenails a little TLC. The nail technicians at Friendly Nails in Cleburne, Texas are ready to provide you with professional and friendly service. From manicures to pedicures and a variety of specialized services such as acrylic nails, facials, and waxing. Custom designs and a variety of stones to accent your nails are also available. The technicians at Friendly Nails are all licensed and trained in the latest technology and have experience applying every kind of polish on the market. So stop by and be treated like royalty. Relax in their massage chairs and unwind. Full body massage therapy is also available by appointment only. For all you guys wanting to give your special lady a little treat, $50 gift certificates are available now for $40, and anyone who mentions hearing about Friendly Nails on the Gavin Mitchell Show or KLIF will get $10 off any $50 purchase. Friendly Nails is open 7 days a week, Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. and Sundays from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. Located at 180 North Ridgeway Drive in Cleburne, Texas. Call them at 817-641-3400. Walk-ins are welcome.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-525-8479 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-525-8479 to take your call now. Call 1-800-525-8479. That's 1-800-525-8479. Again, 1-800-525-8479.
Do you need residential or commercial roof repairs, maintenance, or replacement in the Dallas-Fort Worth area? J-Bow Roofing has over 35 years of experience in the industry, and they have the know-how to keep you dry and comfortable. J-Bow Roofing also offers a roofing system that is warranted against hail of any size, and this is a no-excuse warranty. J-Bow Roofing doesn't want their customers to cringe every time it hails. They want customers to have complete confidence that their roofing system is going to stand up to the task. Basically, J-Bow Roofing wants to stop the insanity lifetime roofing period. Re-roof once and be done. A J-Bow roof product is aesthetically pleasing and tougher than anything you can find. A J-Bow roof is so nice your neighbors will want it. J-Bow lifetime roofing systems are strong as steel, tougher than hail, and guaranteed. So it'll be the last roof you put on your house. Looking for a price? Get a no-cost, no-obligation quote today at jabeau.com. That's jabeau.com. J-Bow Roofing. Your long-term satisfaction is their immediate goal.
Twisted Roads Trading Post in Crowley, Texas is your premier biker apparel, leather, and accessories store. Stop in and visit with brothers Ron and Carl Phillips. Twisted Roads Trading Post carries leather jackets, chaps, vests, accessories, gifts, and more. Open 6 days a week, Tuesday through Thursday, 1 p.m. to 6 p.m., Fridays and Saturdays, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., and on Sundays, 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. Got a motorcycle or trike to sell? Their park and sell lot is now available and anxious to show off your ride. Visit us for sewing, embroidery, and t-shirt printing services. Airbrush services by our friends at Kingdom Custom Creations are also available throughout the week. Call today or visit twistedroadstradingpost.com or find and like them on Facebook. Located west of Crowley on FM 1187, then south on FM 1902. Go 1.3 miles and look for the flags. 817-768-8761. That's 817-768-8761. Twisted Roads Trading Post. If the flags are flying, we're open.
Let's get back to the program. If you're sick of the garbage that comes out of Washington, D.C., then it's time to arm yourself with knowledge from the Blue Collar Professor. Here's your host, Dr. Gavin Mitchell.
So if you are looking to connect with the show, you can find us on the World Wide Web, thegavinmitchellshow.com. You are welcome to email me anytime you would like, Gavin@thegavinmitchellshow.com. I promise you, I read each and every one of those and do my best to respond to all of them. Don't always get the time, but I do my best, and that wasn't redundant at all. You can find us on Twitter @TheGmailShow, and that is where we get a little tongue-in-cheek. We get a little fun with it. I promise you, if it's not conservative and I say it, it's sarcasm. So just remember that if you're on Twitter. Give us a follow @TheGM Show. And so we're talking about this Commander-in-Chief forum up in Manhattan last night. and how Matt Lauer just completely dropped the ball, how he looked like a rookie up there on the world stage. Because make no mistake about it, the world is watching. The world is watching this election. And why do I say that? Because he went after Donald Trump for praising Vladimir Putin. Now, let's put this in context, this whole situation. It was Hillary Clinton that delivered this reset button to Vladimir Putin and Russia, right? It was them that wanted to rebuild this relationship. It was them that wanted to, when I say them, I mean the Obama administration, that wanted to make them an ally until Vladimir Putin realized that Barack Obama is a coward, that he's afraid of conflict, that Vladimir Putin can do anything he wants to short of bombing New York, and Barack Obama's just going to sit there and wear it. Once Vladimir Putin realized that, he started getting greedy, right? He started trying to take over the Crimea Peninsula so he could reestablish the old USSR. He let the secret ties he had with Iran become very obvious. He was flying in Turkish airspace. He's buzzing United States warships, and we do nothing about it. Now, Vladimir Putin is an egomaniac, narcissist, whatever. But his approval rating within his country is at 82%. What does that tell you? That tells you people like strong leadership. They may not agree with your policies. They might not agree with the way you go about things, but they like somebody that'll plant their heels and punch you right in the mouth if you need it. And that's Vladimir Putin, the polar opposite of what we have now. Well, these two egomaniacs, and I say that very sincerely, but somewhat in jest, Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin have this mutual admiration for each other. They realize neither one of them is going to take scuff off anybody. And they can respect that. It's almost like the boys going into the locker room, right? They may go and fight amongst themselves in the locker room, but they respect each other. Now, I'll tell you now, anything Vladimir Putin does isn't in the best interest of the United States. It's in the best interest of him and his country. They're not allies right now. They are not moving in the direction we want. But these two egomaniacs are sizing each other up, and they have this mutual respect. And so Donald Trump says, hey, you know what? If he pays me a compliment, why wouldn't I take it? If he thinks I'm great, if he thinks I'm brilliant, why wouldn't I? Donald Trump has all but said, I respect the way this guy stands up for himself and doesn't let the world push him around. None of that can be said for Barack Obama. And make no mistake about it, our boys and gals in uniform are tired of a weak leader. We're tired of being told to stand down. We're tired of being told, hey, if they come aboard your boat and capture you at gunpoint, just wear it. We'll get you back and then say thank you for not hurting you. At what point do you pull the trigger? If that were Ronald Reagan, Iran would be a has-been. Iran would be a used to be. It would be a big patch of sand just east of Iraq. But we don't have Ronald Reagan. Not even close. So that's the deal with Donald Trump and the whole Vladimir Putin thing. They tried to get him on that. They tried to get him on Iraq. Well, and Hillary Clinton, when she came out, she's like, oh, well, Donald Trump said he was for Iraq, and now he's not for it, and he's just flip-flopping. That nonsense. Donald Trump said he wasn't for Iraq, but if you're going in, take the oil. And that's been something he's preached over and over again, and it's not because he wants the oil. It's because it's the revenue source for these terrorist groups that have risen up where Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama have left the void. Well, let's talk about Hillary's response last night. She swore up and down she will not put troops on the ground to defeat ISIS. I find this concept amazing. This is just baffling to me because this is doing nothing but taking Barack Obama's plan and carrying it forward. How are the airstrikes working? Seriously. We may be taking physical geography from them, but we are not winning this war. This plan is not working. You have military leaders saying this plan is not working. We have evidence in Orlando, in San Bernardino, and I can go on and on and on. Just look at Europe right now. You think we're winning the war with ISIS with airstrikes and forming a coalition? No. We are the big dog on the block. At some point, you got to get up off the couch and you got to go handle this. But Hillary Clinton seems to think that's a horrible idea. Every opportunity I get to talk to somebody in uniform, I do. And first, I thank them for their service. Second question out of my mouth. Are you chomping at the bit? Are you ready to go do what you signed up to do? And every time, yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're just waiting on the go. We are just waiting on the go. And I can just imagine the frustration if you were a military person, whether you're enlisted or you're an officer, you've been trained to do this. You've set your mind to it. You've signed up. You're ready to go to work. You've been through training. Let me do what I do. Let me go defend my country. Let me go get it done. And you're just being throttled back because this president is busy apologizing for our country. Now, that whole email scandal with the classified information and was there a C, was there not a C? Matt Lauer pounded Hillary Clinton on this for a long time. People on both sides of the aisle are criticizing the amount of time Matt Lauer spent on this. There was a guy that stood up and said, look, I got a little time in the military. If I would have done what you did, I'd be in jail. How do you feel about that? Oh, well, yeah. And then here came the excuses. Here came the I'm above the law. And that's Hillary Clinton. That's a snapshot of her for you. Here's somebody who has dedicated their life. She thanked him for the question. Didn't thank him for his service. She doesn't care about his service. She cares about what he can do for her. That's it. Nothing more. But she went on and insisted that no classified emails were sent from her server. She's still holding on to this. The gig is up. It's been up for a while. Ever since Trey Gowdy got a hold of Comey on Capitol Hill during that hearing, he asked Comey point blank, were classified emails sent from Hillary Clinton's email account? The answer was affirmative. They were. Now, he asked in the question, Hillary Clinton said there were no classified emails sent from her server. Was this true? No, it wasn't true. In fact, we found a lot of them. And the fact that she's still holding on to this no classified email garbage is baffling to me. Because wasn't it just a couple days ago that she claimed she didn't understand what the C meant, that she had bumped her head and didn't recall going through training, even though she had been through it 3 times as a first lady, as a senator, and as Secretary of State? Am I making that up, or is that real? It absolutely is real. And so there we have it. I mean, we have an instance where, in my opinion, Donald Trump had an opportunity to steal the show last night, and he was lukewarm. He didn't hurt himself, but he definitely didn't help himself, right? He could have just walked right through that. Hillary Clinton continued doing what Hillary Clinton does, and the world is waking up to it. This country is waking up to who and what she really is and what she's about. People are starting to catch on. And then Matt Lauer, this leftist nut job, who is a member of the Clinton Global Initiative, has the audacity to get up there and moderate this as if he'll be fair and just gets hammered. I mean, New York Times, we're talking Washington Post, just wears him out. These are his card playing buddies. These are his friends. These are the leftist media that he's a member of. He's a card carrying member. And they are wearing him out. And so it was a complete debacle last night, and I couldn't have been more disappointed. What I would have loved to have seen was Matt Lauer drop the ball. That would have been just fine by me. Got that check. Hillary Clinton continuing to do what she does because we're figuring it out, right? Everybody's figuring it out. We got that. But Donald Trump had such a great opportunity. And again, he didn't do poorly. He just didn't knock it out of the park. Now, the debates are coming. And the back and forth, I think, is where Donald Trump can steal the show here. If he gets involved in this back and forth with Hillary Clinton and calls her out with direct questions and holds her feet to the fire and makes her answer, he's got an opportunity here. He's got a great opportunity. Now, Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump aren't the only two in this race. There are others. Apparently, Stein's going to jail, so we can scratch her off the list. But Gary Johnson's out there, and he's actually in the news. Is it good, bad, or indifferent? Let's talk about it next.
The Gavin Mitchell Show. Are you getting squeezed by the economic downturn? Hey, you were doing fine. Then, all of a sudden, you're having a tough time paying your family's credit card bills. Maybe you were downsized or even lost a job, but you still owe $10,000 or more in credit card bills, and you just can't afford the minimum payments anymore. We're here to help. We are the Genesis Debt Partners. We know the secrets to negotiate better terms with your creditors. Make a free 10-minute call right now and learn how we can help you get out of debt. 800-807-9767. If you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt and you want to learn how you can pay less and get out of debt faster, call right now. 800-807-9767. 800-807-9767. Get out of debt now. 800-807-9767.
Hey everybody, your pal Gavin Mitchell here from my friends at Texas Elite Landscape. We all have that embarrassing spot in our yard we just can't seem to get grass to grow. Or perhaps you're tired of pumping hundreds and thousands of dollars into your yard just to get it to turn green when the weather warms up. Or maybe the constant maintenance is just too much to bear. Well, my friends at Texas Elite Landscaping are the most respected synthetic grass installation specialist in North Texas. Locally owned and operated, they have installed over 1 million square feet of the highest quality grass made right here in the USA. And I know what you're thinking. Is it pet and child friendly? You bet it is. So whether you want your yard looking picture perfect year round, no matter what the season is, or perhaps you'd like a putting green in the backyard to keep your husband home on Saturdays, give my friends at Texas Elite Landscaping a call today. 214-298-7726. That's 214-298-7726. Or find them at TexasEliteLandscaping.com.
Is debt beating you down? You need discipline. You need the Debt Ninja. If you've been caught in a financial trap and need to be set free, then you need the Debt Ninja. Want to stop those harassing collection calls, start saving thousands in interest and fees, and get out of debt fast? Then you need to call the Debt Ninja. The Debt Ninja will find the best companies across the country that will help you consolidate all your bills into one easy payment, reduce your payments by 30 to 50%, and get you out of debt fast. If you have unsecured debt of $10,000 or more, such as credit cards, loans, or medical bills, call the Debt Ninja for a free 15-minute consultation.
Call 800-824-3301. 800-824-3301. That's 800-824-3301. Call today.
The Debt Ninja.
Boy, man, I had a rough night's sleep. Boy, I got a letter from the IRS yesterday, and I just couldn't sleep. Man, I'm dying here. Somebody help me.
IRS problems affect more than just your finances. If you're ready to take back control of your life and you owe more than $10,000, you need to call the Tax Doctor. Their expert staff can immediately protect you from the IRS and state collectors and get you the best possible tax settlement guaranteed. The IRS has recently released new programs geared in helping struggling taxpayers, where you may qualify to settle your tax debt and wipe out up to 85% or more of what you currently owe. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes, call the Tax Doctor right now. See if you qualify to pay less. 800-631-9123. 800-631-9123. 800-631-9123. Again, 800-631-9123.
Hey, liberals, try rooting for your own country for a change. Our blue-collar educator of all things common sense does. Now, back to the Gavin Mitchell Show.
If you are looking for the program, there are some changes coming your way. We're going to be back live tomorrow night here on Red Nation Rising Radio at 9 p.m. Eastern, 9 to 10, Friday night, live on Red Nation Rising Radio, replayed on our other affiliates. So special thanks to those guys. But starting next week, we've got some changes. You all know my good buddy Matt Locke with the Matt Locke Show. We've teamed up in the past and done 2 hours a week of off-the-cuff, no notes, just two guys talking politics, news, so on and so forth. Sometimes we have a laugh. Sometimes we get serious. Sometimes one of us may blow a gasket. But we've decided to emphasize that more than our personal shows because we have a good time doing it. So starting next Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern from 8 to 10, you will be able to catch Matt and I live on Red Nation Rising Radio with the Conservative Cartel. Now that we are talking to my affiliates, we're talking to Matt's affiliates about carrying that show live as well. And as soon as we have a completed list, we're going to get them out to you because they're great outlets and you know, we want to be a part of the cause no matter where we're at. Now, for the Gavin Mitchell Show, moving forward, we are going to be going Thursday night from 8 to 10 Eastern. That will be a live program. Saturday from 12 to 2 Eastern p.m., 12 to 2 p.m. Eastern. That will be on Red Nation Rising, as well as WDDQ Talk 92.1 and in Adel, Valdosta, Georgia. And so thank you to those guys for picking up the show and running it. We still are on News and Information 570 KLIF Saturday nights at 8 p.m. here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area through the end of this month. And we decided to go ahead and cash in our out on that contract because you can tell we've got a lot of irons in the fire. And it'd be nice to have a Saturday night free. Yeah, we've been at it a while. And so for the here and now, that's what I know. As I know more, we'll put it on Twitter. We'll put it on the website. We will scream it on the program. But the list of affiliates is coming. Please don't think that we're not listening to you because you're not important. We appreciate each and every one of you, and we will let you know when that happens. So I promised you we would talk about Gary Johnson. Gary Johnson is the Libertarian candidate for president, a third-party candidate, and he's a governor, and he was on MSLSD's Morning Joe earlier this morning. And one of those nut job liberal clowns wanted to know what his policy is going to be regarding Aleppo. And Gary Johnson's like, huh? What? What do you mean? He's like, Aleppo. He's like, no, seriously, what do you mean? And the commentator just about fell out of his chair. He's like, you seriously don't know? Well, let me fill everybody in. Aleppo is a city in Syria. I probably wouldn't have known that if I wasn't as plugged in as I am, right? And I'm willing to bet that 8 out of 10 people in this country don't know about Aleppo. Why is Aleppo important? It's kind of the center of that whole civil war they got going on in Syria. And it's so out of the mainstream news that the New York Times decided they were going to go after Gary Johnson for this mistake. And they came out initially saying that, and this is it, correction, September 8, 2016. An earlier version of this article misidentified the de facto capital of the Islamic State. They said that's what Aleppo is. It's the de facto capital of ISIS. Not true. It's Raqqa. And so the New York Times had to issue a correction. Well, then they said an earlier version of the above correction misidentified the Syrian capital as Aleppo. It's not Aleppo. I knew Damascus was the capital of Syria long ago, before I got plugged into politics, before I immersed myself every day. Now you could say, well, Gavin, this he wants to be a presidential He's a presidential candidate. He wants to lead. He should know this. There's a lot going on in Aleppo. It's a crucial city. It's the hub for this whole civil war thing. Maybe. But what if Gary Johnson is an expert in other fields and plans on surrounding himself with people that are really strong in this area? That could be it. But first off, when you ask this question, why would you ask about a specific city that is entrenched in a civil war halfway around the world? Why wouldn't you just ask about Syria? What's your plan for Syria? I get it. It is what it is, right? It was a misstep. Now, how does Gary Johnson get out of this? Because he's got to jump from 9 to 15 points here very quickly to get into this first debate, to qualify for the debate. That's the threshold. You have to have 15 points in the national average of polls. This is a big blunder because he just flat out said, I have no idea what you're talking about. I appreciate the transparency. I appreciate the honesty. That's refreshing to me. Here's how he gets past this. He stands up and he owns it. And he's done that so far. He said, look, I didn't know, but I know now. And then he gets out there and he proves his foreign policy knowledge. He just starts core dumping everything he's got. And what this can be is a blessing in disguise for Gary Johnson, because now there are people that know Gary Johnson's name that didn't in the past. They had no idea who he was. They know who he is now. And so he can ride this wave of this attention to begin to display where he stands on the facts. Will it work? Doubt it. But that's the only chance he's got. But let's be honest. Gary Johnson had zero chance to begin with. There are even conspiracy theorists out there that are saying he's in the bag for Hillary because all he does is pound Trump, trying to steal votes from Trump. We know traditionally strong third-party candidates steal votes from the Republican nominee. That's how Billy Clinton got into office. Ross Perot. It is that effect. And so, is it a big blunder? Yes, it is. But I'd be willing to put my money on it. If you asked Hillary Clinton about Aleppo and asked where it was, she'd be like, well, the dog food? What are you talking about? But for those of you at home, I had somebody here on the Periscope feed that gave direct pinpoint location of Aleppo. It is directly across that red line that Barack Obama drew in Syria. Just if you're looking for it, that's where it's at.
The Gavin Mitchell Show. You hear the headlines. You know health insurance is a real mess right now. Premiums have skyrocketed, and in most cases, you're stuck with your plan until open enrollment. But there's a government rule that allows you to qualify for lower health insurance rates if your life has changed. That means if you've changed jobs, if you're having a child, if you're getting married, if you're getting divorced, even if you run a small business or you're self-employed, this law may qualify you to get lower health insurance rates. Call the Health Insurance Hotline today. Learn how this 10-minute call can help you get lower health insurance rates. This is a free service to help consumers learn the laws to help them qualify for lower health insurance rates. So call right now to learn more. 800-926-4501, 800-926-4501, 800-926-4501, 800-926-4501.
Hey folks, Gavin Mitchell here. If you're in the market for a new car or truck, Jerry Chevrolet in Weatherford has been family owned and operated for nearly 50 years, and my family has done business with Jerry for 25 of those. Jerry's proudly built a reputation of working hard to provide their customers with great service and exceptional value. Jerry Chevrolet has hundreds of new trucks in stock, and they are always marked with the absolute lowest price. Come test drive the Chevy Silverado or the Colorado today and get yourself a $25 prepaid Visa gift card for doing it. When you go online at jerrychevytexas.com, Jerry will offer you a $25 prepaid Visa gift card just for stopping in. No purchase necessary. It's as easy as that. If you have a trade-in, Jerry Chevrolet is always looking for quality used cars, and you can go to jerrychevytexas.com today and find out what your vehicle is worth. Find new roads at Jerry Chevrolet in Weatherford and at jerrychevytexas.com. Come out our way and trade your way. Tell them Gavin sent you.
Attention business owners. We know that owning a business means getting things done right now. So if your right now list includes a new building, call the Right Now Company. General Steel. We can design a building for your business quickly and save you thousands of dollars. That's right, thousands. You may think General Steel only builds large projects or that you can't afford General Steel quality. Well, check these prices. How about a 40 by 60 foot building for under $22,000? Or even a 50 by 100 for under $35,000? That's right, a 5,000 square foot building for under $35,000. And these buildings all have General Steel quality. Best of all, you can still order a building and have it delivered in time to build this year. How's that for right now? So if your right now list includes a new building, call the Right Now Company, General Steel.
800-398-8309. 800-398-8309. 800-398-8309. That's 800-398-8309.
Hey everybody, Gavin Mitchell from The Gavin Mitchell Show here. Of course you can find our show every week on our flagship station, News and Information, 570 AM KLIF, but sometimes once a week just isn't enough. I would encourage you to go out to our website, www.thegavinmitchellshow.com, and there you'll find a plethora of information about the show, including archived episodes of our daily podcast. You'll find a blog written by me and other conservative writers, and entertaining videos that are available with the Gavin Mitchell Experience. I would encourage you to follow us on Twitter at The GM Show. We are on Facebook, facebook.com/The Gavin Mitchell Show. And of course, we are on our flagship station for the internet, conservativeradionetwork.com, with the most talented conservative podcasters in the country. So be sure to tune in Saturdays at 8 p.m. right here on News and Information 570 AM KLIF, or through the week at conservativeradionetwork.com or www.thegavinmitchellshow.com.
If you happen to drive by the studios during a commercial break and you see a guy on the roof waving an American flag, that's our blue-collar doctor of common sense. And now here he is, your host, Dr. Gavin Mitchell.
So, I've talked a lot about it. Not only the biases of the polls that are out there, because they're taken by the left. And even CNN has admitted to oversampling Democrats. But the problem is we're looking at national polls, and this is not a national election. Make no mistake about it. In fact, the Washington Post came out last week and said, hey, Texas is in play. Texas is a battleground state. It's the biggest shocker of all. No, it is not. It hasn't been, and it probably never will be again. We will take our ball and go home and become the Republic of Texas again before this becomes a blue state. It's nonsense. This is not, while the national polls are fun to follow, while they're fun to engage in, and all of that, this isn't a national election. And that's part of my beef with the Electoral College, is that the same few states decide the election every time. California will always be blue. Texas will always be red. That's just how it is. But you've got Ohio, Pennsylvania, Florida, so on and so forth, and those states are the ones that decide the election every time. And so when you're looking at these polls, the national polls do not matter. Not even close. The only thing that matters are these battleground states. That's it. If you want to know which way this election is going to swing, there are 5 or 6 of them, maybe 7. Pay attention to what's going on in those states, and it'll tell you all you need to know, because that's the way the election's going to go. Well, those polls are out, and that's what matters. And in fact, Donald Trump has taken the lead in Florida, still within the margin of error. So statistically, it's a tie. But he is within the margin of error in several other of these battleground states, and he's coming on strong. Hillary Clinton is falling. And this is an incredible phenomenon, because we know for a fact, it's well documented, that when Hillary Clinton exposes herself, not in the way Bill does, but I mean as normal people do, when she shows up, her numbers fall. When she disappears, when people can't find her, when they can't speak with her, she plateaus or her numbers go up. She's been gone, and so she's been running strong. But now We have forced her into a press conference. We forced her out. She's got to go to the debates. She's got to be seen now. She can't hide in New York. And what's happening? Her numbers are falling. And so she can't hide forever. Donald Trump's coming. And just fingers crossed that these battleground states get it right. Because my gosh, could you imagine looking up 4 years from now? Because 8 years ago, if you would have told me we were going to be having a conversation about kicking the doors open and letting potential terrorists in our country and claiming that it is a God-given right for a man to go in a woman's bathroom, I would have called you crazy, but here we are. Where are we going to be in 4 or 8 years? It's not even worth mentioning. My gosh. Hey, I want to turn our attention to the University of California, Los Angeles. This is where Ben Shapiro basically got ran out of town. Do you remember us talking about that? Well, they're at it again. And the Black Student Union has presented a list of demands to the university, which includes a $30 million endowment to support black students financially, an anti-discrimination policy combined with cultural competency training, compulsory, I can never say that word. It's compulsive, but the adjective, ethics studies courses for first and second year students, as well as segregated housing for the black students. California State University gave in and gave them the segregated housing in an attempt to provide safe spaces for black students. I think about Rosa Parks, and I think about Martin Luther King, and I think about all of those great people who wanted to achieve something good in this country. I think about all those people who were wrongly enslaved and went and now we're so worried about people getting their feelings hurt that we are undoing all the great work that those great people did. That was the fight of an entire generation so that this didn't happen, that all men were judged on the content of their character and not the color of their skin. And here we have a black student union and a liberal university cashing all those chips in, writing it off, selling that ship up the sea. Because we're worried about people's feelings getting hurt. The whole idea of academia, the whole idea of higher education is to broaden your horizons, open your eyes, push you intellectually, make you uncomfortable, present you with ideas you may not have even considered. And at the end of the day, when all of that's done, when you paid attention, you've listened, you've learned the difference between fact and opinion. You decide where you stand as a person. You decide what's important to you. But nowhere in there, in this free exchange of ideas that had made this country so incredibly great, does it mean you're not going to be uncomfortable and that you're not going to be offended at some point. Because the great thing about America, whether you like it or not, is people have a right to be an idiot in this country. The KKK is a perfectly legal organization until they break a law. The Black Panthers are a perfectly legal organization until they break a law. I don't agree with anything that comes out of any of their mouths, but that's what makes America great. And these students here are so concerned. They're so worried that they're going to get their feelings hurt that they want to undo the work of so many great men and women and heroes that sacrifice so much. Is this what we've come to as a country? And why in the world is this okay? I wish I went to Cal State University, LA right now. I would sue them for not letting me in this dorm. 110% over. Update on Megan Rapinoe's story. You remember she's a soccer player that decided she was going to show Colin Kaepernick some support and kneel during the national anthem. Well, they moved on to Washington. And there in Washington, this soccer club said, no, that's not happening. That's not even close to what's going to happen. They played the national anthem before the teams came out of the locker room, so they didn't give her an opportunity to kneel. They didn't give her the chance. Good for them. Finally, somebody standing up for this country that's got a little juice. Boy, I like to see that. Folks, that's going to do it for today. In the words of the great Ray Wally Hubbard, on the days I keep my gratitude higher than my expectations, well, I have really good days. I hope you have a great day. We'll see you right back here tomorrow, 9 p.m. Eastern, Red Nation Rising Radio. For the great Ron Phillips, I'm Gavin Mitchell. We'll see you tomorrow.